Welcome to the Naperville Eldercare channel, brought to you by Kathy Wetters and the great folks of Right at Home of Chicago's southwest suburbs. Today's guest is Florette Elia, Director of Marketing for Bria of Geneva.
Well, welcome back to the Naperville Eldercare channel. We're honored today to have our guest, Florette Elia from Bria of Geneva. Welcome, Florette.
Thank you, Kathy. Thanks for having me.
And I love your colors on your dress.
Oh,
You're so
thank
summery
you.
today.
So summery.
It is. And
if only it could be summer all the time.
right, and what, tomorrow and the next day we're going to have some
Very steamy.
Very steamy days.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, let's maybe kick off by you're telling us a little bit about your role there.
Mm-hmm. Yes. My official title is Director of Marketing.
Yes.
But I also include Community Liaison in there because what I do is partner with the discharge planning teams at the various hospitals to provide for a safe and seamless transition from the hospital to our facility. And then once they get into the facility, there's another team of fantastic people that go ahead and pick up from there and continue on. I also obviously meet with the families, meet with the patients, because this is such a scary thing. A lot of people haven't been through having to put their loved one into a rehabilitation, program or skilled nursing facility
before.
Yes, and so I try to help them navigate that.
Now, that brings in, I guess, a natural first question there is some folks do not understand, because we meet with families when they eventually, may go back to their home setting. They do not understand why they cannot stay at the hospital, why they need to go to this place. So what is a skilled nursing facility?
A skilled nursing facility helps to bridge the gap between hospital and home. Try to give, or we at Bria of Geneva try to get the patient extra time and attention to get them stronger and to get them back on their feet for, their everyday living, to try to get back to that.
So rehab is an important part of the daily activities.
It is. We have a bunch of services at our facility, including a short-term rehabilitation, which our program is called STRIVE.
STRIVE, okay.
Yes, it stands for...
An acronym.
I know, exactly. Strength through restoring independence, vitality, and energy.
Oh, nice.
So this program encompasses the physical therapy, the occupational therapy, the speech therapy. And at Bria of Geneva, we do offer that 7 days a week, which is kind of a difference.
Oh, because some will only do therapy, as you know, Monday through Friday, because I have visited on weekends, and they're like, we're losing time.
Right. So that if a patient is tired, say, on a Friday, they won't be seen then again until Monday. But that's not the case with us. They are seen more so.
Keep that they will not
the progress going. Yes, exactly. We also offer some other medical services. We have cardiac rehabilitation, stroke and neurological rehabilitation, a wound care team. So we have a specified team of a physician and a nurse that works with our patients with wounds.
Yeah, that's something you have to stay on top of, isn't it?
Absolutely, because if they go too far, it's never any good. Yes. And then in addition to that, social activities in a safe and supportive environment, because the social aspect of being somewhere else away from home is also very important.
It sure is. And I was speaking to someone recently from the Tri-Cities that had been at a skilled nursing facility in a suburb, not Geneva. Yeah. And she would describe to me the time of day that she would have a meltdown. She said, it is not logical. She came from the healthcare profession, she said, but from hours like, late afternoon and in the middle of the night, she would have these meltdowns because and I think it works on people's mind, especially the elderly. They think, am I ever going to go back to my home?
Yes, right. Am I ever going to graduate from here? Absolutely.
Some of the questions you hear often is, and sometimes I think unfair criticism, is around staffing arrangements. So at Bria of Geneva, what are the staffing arrangements?
Well, what we like to do is we strive to keep staffing the same on the floors so that the patients know the certified nursing assistants that they're going to be working with. That's our goal. Many of our staff members that work with us, they actually live in the community in which our residents reside. Oh, so it's very important to us to create a small community kind of atmosphere, not only for the patients, but for our residents and also for our staff and our families, the families of the patients that come to us. So
Yes. I live in Geneva, and I know some folks from our church that have stayed there with you, and that was very important to them, is that it's people from the Tri-Cities. They're big on that.
They are big on that. Some people don't go past south of Fabian. Some people, they have very strict restrictions on where they travel to. But in addition to that, for services that we provide, that the staff provides, we have 24-hour nursing care. There's always a nurse in the building.
Whatever comes up, day or night.
Yep, exactly. We also have give assistance with all the daily living activities, such as bathing and brushing the teeth, things of that nature. We provide that. And then medication management and distribution, those kind of things also.
Now when a patient is at your facility, are they cared for by their personal physician, or is that a doctor that's associated with the facility that cares for them?
Good question. Bria of Geneva is very proud to have a myriad of specialists and esteemed primary care physicians that are with us. So while a patient is there, they are going to see the physicians that are on our staff. Gotcha. It's very important for the patients to know that we're not asking them to switch over to these doctors. Right. Once they are released from our care, they go ahead and go back to their regularly scheduled program with their physicians.
In fact, on discharge, that's one of the things they need to re-engage with.
Is go back for those appointments. Now, we do have a myriad of specialists on staff with us, which we're very, very proud of, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I do want to say, if we don't have a specific specialist that a patient needs to see, we do set up appointments and transport the patient to see those physicians if necessary.
So it could be something with their medical diagnosis, they need to see maybe a kidney specialist or whatever.
Well,
you have that.
Well, funny you should say that. Let me list out the ones we have. Yes, because we're very, very proud of this. We have a full-time nurse practitioner. We have a medical director, a primary care physician. We have a director of cardiology from Central DuPage Hospital.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, so we have a very intense cardiac program. We have nephrologists, a team of nephrologists.
How about that?
Yeah, so you say that. That was I was like, whoa, you didn't even know that.
And every facility does not have nephrologists.
Oh, no, definitely not. Yes, definitely. And then we have a wound care physician, like I said before. We have a physiatrist, which is a physician of physical therapy. So she is over our entire physical therapy department.
That is different as well.
That's right.
Some folks outsource that stuff these days. Yes.
And we have a psychiatrist, a psychologist, an optometrist, podiatrist, and dentist.
That pretty much sums up the human body, doesn't it?
Kind of, yeah. I think a GI that may,
you may need that. That's a specialty.
That may be right, exactly. So
I did not know. That is something I absolutely did not know.
Yeah, which is wonderful because we really, really believe in working with this interdisciplinary team kind of model, so that everyone has their own spot, but that collaborate together because we want to get that patient well. And back home
where they want to be.
Exactly.
Their things.
Definitely.
Now, when I know that following the hospital stay is obviously one time that someone will make a trip by a skilled nursing facility. When besides that, when are some times that patients and their families should consider it's time to go to a skilled nursing facility?
This is so individualized for each and every family, and it really depends on what is their living situation like. Are they living alone? Are they living with others? Is there someone to help them out there? Are their symptoms unmanageable on a daily basis? And of course, this is just my opinion of what I would tell families to look for. What's the safest place for your loved one to be? That's obviously, and I guess it might be a no-brainer, but that's what you want to kind of keep in mind. Is the patient going to be okay living alone or living there at a house or a structure and being able to take care of their own needs? If the answer is no, then obviously additional care. And it may not be skilled nursing, it may be assisted living or supportive living also. Absolutely.
But some individuals have such a complex medical, they have one thing working against another. Maybe they have diabetes and congestive heart failure and so many things going on that's you need a skilled nursing facility to have folks around the clock addressing the emerging conditions that change so often.
Absolutely. And we have that. We have people checking, making their rounds every 2 hours. We have them bringing patients down for social activities, so having that social component also, because you can't forget that.
No.
That social component.
Gives them that will to go on.
Extremely important.
It
Yes,
is. We're
absolutely.
social creatures.
I know,
we?
right?
I guess an important something everyone wants to know, and maybe everyone doesn't know, is who pays.
You're going to say money.
Who pays for this skilled nursing?
Money, absolutely. Yes. We at Bria of Geneva accept a myriad of different forms of payment. We, of course, accept private pay, anyone who wants to pay privately. We are on a lot of different private insurances. And then we also do accept patients that are signed up with Medicare or Medicaid. Or some of them are MMAIs, they're bundled programs. But
now, not all skilled nursing facilities accept all of that either, do they? That's something that individuals need to investigate. So that's another plus.
Usually,
plus
I shouldn't say usually. Sometimes places will, they'll always take private pay. Some don't take as many some do different insurances, and a lot do not accept public aid.
Right. This is maybe an in the weeds question, but I think there's a lot of confusion about if someone is in the hospital and they're headed to a skilled nursing facility. Does Medicare have some rules and regulations around how many nights you need to stay at that hospital?
Oh my goodness, this is always a good one, Kathy.
Yes.
So it is a 3 midnight inpatient hospital stay that's required.
They have been admitted.
Now, a person can be on a medical floor and not be admitted.
Right.
This is extremely important that patients connect with their discharge planner. It's either a social worker or a nurse case manager to find out, am I in observation or am I inpatient? Because they will only pay for 3 midnight medical inpatient stay. So not psych.
Not psych. That's important.
There's another one.
That's another
it's
one.
Another dinger.
So because otherwise they come to you and they're going to get some less than welcome large bills that are going to come to them.
Oh, right? Yes, and I would not. We try our best to completely avoid that. We don't want. It's an extreme financial burden to a lot of people, especially when you're talking about elderly people. They don't. Some don't have a lot of money to begin with, and to have that would be just devastating.
For basically a technicality, sort of.
For a technicality.
Yes,
right. I think they're getting better. I think at first it was a little challenging, but the rules are changing. I know I will be attending a presentation in the fall to see what kind of Medicare changes that they are making. But as of today, right now,
that's the way it is.
3 midnights,
I know when I visit, let's say, Mary and Joy, and they have a regimen that each individual goes through during the day. At Bria of Geneva, let's say if someone's there for short-term rehab or cardio rehab, if you want to discuss both, that would be fine. What's a typical day like for them?
They wake up in the morning. They are taken care of by their certified nursing assistant and gotten ready, so to say, and taken to breakfast. We have breakfast at 8:15.
Okay, too early.
Not too early, not too late. They can have white tablecloth service in our dining room, or they can have room service as long as they are not under any, with their swallowing. As long as they don't need assistance with eating, then they can
They're
have
okay.
room service.
That's important, because some folks are sort of introverted, or they're slow getting going in the morning,
and they just want to kind of stay in their room for a little bit. So they would do that. We have activities then, you know, usually some bingo or some arts and crafts, things of that nature. Sometimes outings that they're taken to the dollar store, to Walmart or somewhere, or a fair when the fair is in town in St. Charles.
Yeah, that's neat.
We've taken them there before. Then lunch, therapy.
Therapy.
Usually, I mean, for a lot of patients, it's about an hour per regimen.
Okay.
So if they need all three, then that'd be
3 hours of rehab
of their day.
Interesting.
Just depending on what's going on with the patient.
Now, do the families generally, are there visiting hours for the families and friends?
Yeah, our building is a secured building to protect our patients.
Yes.
So there's someone at the front desk from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
So that's when we encourage families to visit. They certainly can come really technically anytime they want, but we ask that they don't disturb the sleep and
they're there for a reason.
their therapy, you know, their care, and you know, so we ask that they come during those times, although it's not a set rule by any stretch of the imagination. You know, they can certainly come, and you just need to ring the doorbell and be patient
and come in. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now there's other Brias in the area, are there not?
There are, yes. We have Bria of Westmont that just opened a brand new Strive unit that's separate from their long-term care unit. It has aquatic therapy and so many state-of-the-art equipment that it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. You almost have to see it and experience it to know, to have a full concept. It's almost like if you've ever played Wii. You know, they have things like that where they actually have people involved in games. And so it doesn't really feel like you're doing therapy, but you really are doing therapy. Yeah, they have a lot of virtual. It's called virtual. That's
virtual.
What it's called.
That's how
missing the word.
That?
Yes.
Neat.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful facility, brand new, redone, private structure from the other, the long-term care part of it. Yeah. So.
Well, neat.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else now that we've you think are important that maybe we skipped over?
I don't think so. Some of our other facilities that we did also open another Strive unit in our Palos Hills location.
Oh, yes.
So again, there's a separate, it's completely free structure, separate from the long-term care. And again, state-of-the-art, everything that Westmont has, the aquatic pool, for aquatic therapy. And this aquatic therapy, the ground actually goes up. And so you can push a wheelchair in.
Because that's a big deal, getting in and out of the traditional pool. Yes.
And then it just lowers. It's, I highly suggest people stop by to look at that. Oh, for sure. At either locations. Yeah, definitely.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
very good to know.
Sure.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate your time.
And I hope you have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.
Don't get overheated.
Yes, I'll try my best.
Okay.
Thank you.